But Caroline, you're reporting today, Anthony Mundine, a man who sort of was Lydia Thorpe before Lydia Thorpe about many Indigenous issues. He's a hard no, in part because of her position about sovereignty, but then he'll turn around and say many of the things that, say, Jacinta Price would have to say. Interesting chat.
Very interesting, and I think, you know, this is going to be, to use a boxing pun, a real knockout blow for the Yes campaign. Well done. I do think having someone as high profile, I hear those groans, as high profile, an Indigenous athlete, a legend in boxing and NRL, coming out against this referendum is going to be very powerful, because I don't think that he said what a lot of people thought he would say on this. They might assume he would take a progressive yes position because it's good for his mob, but actually he does take, and he's not a Lydia Thorpe supporter, I should add, but he does agree with her on his fears about what it will do for the rights of Indigenous people and sovereignty. It's something the government has dismissed, I should make clear. But also he says we already have senators and ministers in Parliament who are Indigenous. Why do we need this voice? And the people who, he's very sceptical about people who, even Indigenous Australians who accept $15,000 grants from the Yes campaign to promote the vote, and sports stars like Adam Goodes and Shaquille O'Neal. Well,
here in part is what he told Caroline a bit earlier today. Roll the tape.
Why are you telling people to vote no?
Basically, it's a takeover. They want to take our sovereignty, so we fall under their jurisdiction as British subjects. So once our sovereignty is ceded, then we will have no power. Why the hell do we need a voice? We've got people in Parliament, we've got senators, we're already making our voices heard.
The whole report up at skynews.com.au right now. Nicholas is a all-in yes man. I'm going to say I've started to notice a little pep in the step of the yes people, because they think that the money's about to kick in, the campaign tactics are about to kick in. We know that the polls haven't quite kicked in, but are you hearing something from deep inside yes world that they've got a rabbit to pull out of the hat here?
No, I think people on the yes side of the debate know that it's going to be hard work. They know that in Australia we've had 44 votes on referendums and only 8 of them have succeeded. And every one that's succeeded has had both sides of politics advocating for yes. So the yes side has got a hard job in front of it, but it's one that can be won because the yes side of the vote has got history on its side and has got the better argument, I think. And look, I don't think Warren Mundine coming out today saying esports no is a knockout blow at all. I mean, anyone who's part of a family or sat around at a Christmas lunch knows that there's going to be differences of views in any family and amongst any mob. And so it's not surprising that some Aborigines...
You might want to get the wrong Mundine.
Aborigines who are...
You got the wrong Mundine.
They're all the same.
So there are some Aboriginal people coming out saying they don't support it, but the significant vast majority do, because it's about giving Aboriginal people a fair go in this country, which they've missed out on for too long.
Yeah, all right. Well, Steve, also, what is really interesting here is that we know that the intensity on both sides is deep. There's a certain section of people, and I was speaking to a very prominent Australian today who was partially like, you know why I'm enjoying you at the moment? Because you don't talk about this all day, every day. So forgive me for breaking the rule right now. It feels like who's being played for is compulsory voter land, and that's going to be about the vibe. You're going to have all of the push which is going to be there financially. How are you going to handle the next 7 weeks? Because it's going to go on and on and on and on.
Yeah, look, welcome back to the Man Cave, by the way. I hope I left it in good shape for you. Caroline, congratulations on that interview. I thought that Anthony Mundine today, I didn't quite follow his sovereignty argument, but the rest of what he said, I think rings true. Now, a lot of people, and you would remember this, Paul, that Mundine's boxing gym was always located in Redfern. And that guy did a hell of a lot for disadvantaged Indigenous people who lived in Redfern in the bad old days of Redfern. And I can remember going down and wandering around with the then New South Wales Police Minister Michael Costa, and the back lanes of Redfern were knee-deep in heroin needles. So there were a lot of people who needed a lot of help there. So Mundine, you might see him as a bit of a loose cannon, but Mundine's worked in that community. He knows what Indigenous people who are in trouble need, and I think him speaking out today was a fantastic thing to do, and congratulations on you. And look, Mundine's always an honest guy. You might not always agree with him, but he knows a lot more about disadvantaged Indigenous people than I do.